And this is the story of lost Dauphin, the true story behind the secrecy and the cover-ups of the French royal family. Shortly after funding the U.S. Civil War victory, the French police tax collectors began to steal the money that they were collecting in the name of the king. They overtaxed the working class so they framed the king as greedy. They didn't give the money needed to pay for the king's royal guard army to the king, but instead used it to pay for the army to challenge the throne. Roughing South Poyaz, 1789. Revolt from the working class taxpayers sent aristocrats into a panic to save the Dauphin from the madness now triggered by the lies and outrage. And there's definitely something wrong in Denmark if the king and queen both lose their heads. The great fear to leave everything behind for your life at age 10. Louis Joseph Legrand the 17th is whisked away to Flanders. Royalists cover up the trail to protect the Dauphin's life. Louis finds love in the Alps with a young fashionable he called Pinky. After both his parents were beheaded in 1773, he and his Pinky both got portraits done. Under the name Baal, to show the royalists he found love. A mother's love goes beyond the grave. Mother Marie Antoinette's heart is preserved to be used as a cover-up to save the young innocent Dauphin's life. You could say the price of freedom was his own mother's heart and the haunting love from beyond the grave. 22 years later, the Legrand Armory is victorious in 1815 Waterloo. Louis XVIII, the Dauphin's uncle, takes back France from the lying snake who robbed the kingdom, Hitler's idol, Napoleon Bonaparte. Uncle Louis XVIII Legrand visits the Dauphin after Waterloo on Louis France Legrand's 35th birthday. Louis France Legrand turns down the throne for domestic life with his Pinky. And then he goes and changes his name again for the third time to Dominic because it sounds like domestic, and that's the point. Domestic means the war games, and after both parents losing their heads, understood how the wholesome spirit beats the negative forces of evil. Flanders gains independence from Dutch, and in 1840 the Dauphin passes away at the age of 6. The Dauphin's son Carlo had a son named Benjamin, who had a son named Henricus. Then in the start of the 20th century, World War I happened right here in Flanders Fields. As the ace of all aces, known as the Red Baron, is death in the sky circling from above. Scarred cannons, air raid sirens, foxholes, landmines, and the politics go on. Ypres, Flanders, 1919. Claire-Margaret Legrand, born August 2nd. Born into the Great Depression of the 1920s, these are the great-great-grandchildren of the lost Dauphin in Canada. Meanwhile, back in the old country in 1938, on land, by sea, and through the air, it was a battle of the B-1 rocket versus the nuclear bomb. Wave after wave of soldiers land on shores and airdrop from the sky as London burns. And the weapon of war to stop the Gestapo before fascism trends to fashion. And now Germany falls. 1944, war ends. Remember your history, Remembrance Day. And Rosemary, my mother, was born last of Claire's children. Of the 60s, 70s party generation of rock and roll, psychedelic experimentation, freedom and liberty. Live fast, die young, fuck the system and fuck the government. Happy hour is 4 a.m. at the Hard Rock Casino. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Then one summer of love, 2 17-year-olds fuck on magic mushrooms. Then the greatest feeling to ever happen happened. I was born. Did the breath test. See if it gets foggy. Trust me, I should prove it. No fog. So what we have here is a 20-karat white diamond. Notice there's no color in the fire. Here's how you test it. Check it out. I'll scratch this glass right here. Check out the marks left on the glass. Okay, there's another way to test it too. Does it float or does it sink? Here, I filled up the bottle with water now. We'll drop it in. It sank straight to the bottom. What does that tell me? As you see, it doesn't fog, it also scratches the glass, it sinks to the bottom, and has white fire. When you feel like you're king of the world, maybe you are. So treat everyone like royalty.